Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from Amassers.com. Instead of pouring out my heart over a 4-hour chart like I usually do on the weekends, I decided to try something different and see just how much useful information I could pack into one video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about crypto market manipulation, how to spot it, and once and for all, I'm going to share proof that it does exist. I'm going to share some almost insider information on when the crypto market will most likely pump. You want to know when, Moon? Stay tuned. I'm going to share the secret behind Trump's tariff. And what does Warren Buffett and what did Ronald Reagan have to say about a Trump tariff? Lastly, I want to talk about the chances of a recession in 2025 as politicians wage economic war on their own citizens. Okay guys, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about crypto market manipulation here. Okay, I'm here on our site. This is Amassers.com, and this free indicator here we call the fearmonger. I use this for finding out what exactly is based on digits alone, based on just the numbers. You're trading digital assets, so what you should be doing probably should be based on the numbers. Okay, this will give me a market sentiment. There's 1 to 5 bears, 1 to 5 bulls. You want to know more about this free indicator? Talk about it a lot right up here in this video. It's just 9 minutes long, but it explains really almost everything you need to know. Okay, now the reason this works is because the crypto markets are indeed manipulated. Okay, let's go over here, and I'm going to show you guys what I've been doing. I don't like to show stuff like this, but this is on Bitunix. I've been trading with the sentiment that was given to me, and you can see here I sold, I bought it back. I sold, this is Bitcoin, I bought it back. Again, I sold, I bought it back. Again, I sold, I bought it back. All while I'm seeing negative bears, I'm just doing shorts. Nothing more, nothing less. Now when the market started doing something that I didn't understand, and it was pushing us back towards neutral on the bears, hey, I sit out. Sometimes the great thing about trading is you get to sit on your hands sometimes and you're actually going to make more money sometimes by doing nothing. Okay, I come back here. This is a 4-hour chart, so it's days later. I sold. I took too big of a position in my mind, so I sold half of it here and I sold the rest down there. Again, I sold, bought it back. This is the last thing I done. I sold, I bought it back. Okay, now I'm inside of our screener, and I want to show you guys something here, because maybe some people are from Missouri. I'm just trying to share the concept that this market is indeed manipulated or engineered. Let's say that word. I'm going to show you guys a little clip with Michael Saylor, and he's going to explain, yes, this is an engineered market. He holds $46 billion worth of Bitcoin inside of his strategy group. So I would think that he would know. Okay, so here's the clip now.
It's an engineered monetary network. It's the reason the asset class is outperforming every other asset over every time period since its instantiation is because it's mathematically pure, and everything else is subject to debasement and dilution and inflation.
Yeah, would you improvise?
Would you cross a bridge designed by an engineer that bragged that he broke all the laws and he didn't respect people with math that checked his calculus and he wanted to make up 2 + 2 = 16? Like the point is, nobody in the civilization would trust anybody or anything designed by a politician that simply made up the rules and reversed gravity.
Right.
And yet we trust monetary systems where the rules are made up and you can reverse.
Okay, now that we got the goods from Sailor, let's look at this. This is inside of our screener, and all I done was come over here to the weekdays. And how you use this is you can see glaring on this heat map that Monday is for his UTC. Sunday's got a little action, but Monday has a ton of action on almost half of every week. Okay, so if the market's going to make a new high or a new low, there's more of a probability of that happening right there. But let me show you something else. Saturday has barely no chance at all of the market making a new high or a new low. Okay, now we just looked at that heat map and we saw Saturday has a very low probability percentage of having a new high or a new low. That's all I looked at. But let's come over here and look. This is a Bitcoin chart, 4-hour chart. I share these all the time on Twitter. Now, first thing I want to point out is here's the lows in my gray box, which I usually share once a week on Twitter. And look how we're reacting to it. Bouncing off the lows, bouncing off the highs. Okay, but let's just focus on Saturday. We need about 6 candles here. And how much action did we see on Saturday? This is it. This is all we see. And why? Again, because these markets are manipulated. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic. Okay, I know. You want to know when moon. I get it. Okay, that's what you're here for. First off, I want to say, I'm just a messenger, okay? But I got some little kind of what I think it was a Freudian slip, and it was on the part again of Mr. Michael Saylor. I'm going to show you guys a piece of a CNBC interview he done kind of recently. I'm going to give you guys the closest you can get to insider info. So here's the clip.
If you have a sovereign wealth fund, then I think it's well within the rights of the leader of the nation to decide to put, proprietary assets, securities, tokens, and the like into it. And of course, the decision will eventually be made through a fairly comprehensive political process over the next 6 months. We have till July 22nd, when the digital assets framework and recommendations from the executive order are due on the president's desk. It should be interesting to watch what happens between now and
Okay, let's talk about tariffs. And let's talk about the chances of a recession in 2025 again. So let's start off by giving the president a chance to defend his policies on tariffs. I found this clip and I want to share it with you guys. This is a great explanation by Donald Trump of what he hopes to accomplish and achieve with tariffs. I'm not trying to be political, guys, but I just want you to dive into the mind of Donald Trump and hear in his own words what he hopes to accomplish. Here's a little debate in this clip. Here we go.
The higher the tariff, the more likely it is to have them come into the country.
The higher the tariff, the more you're going to put on the value of that piece, those goods, the higher people are going to have to pay in shops.
Ready? The higher the tariff, the more likely it is that the company will come into the United States and build a factory in the United States so it doesn't have to pay the tariff.
That will take many, as you know, that will take many years.
In fact, I'll tell you, there's another theory is that the tariff, you make it so high, so horrible, so obnoxious that they'll come right away. When I do the 10%, 10% is really, first of all, 10% when you collect it is hundreds of billions of dollars. The numbers that you're talking, all reducing our deficit. But really, so there's two ways of looking at a tariff. You can do it as a money-making instrument, or you can do it as something to get the companies Now, if you want the companies to come in,
Okay, Mr. Trump, you had the chance. Now, let's take a listen to this clip here because I think this is really relevant because this is Ronald Reagan. For those unfamiliar, he is a former president, and it's really relevant because Ronald Reagan was born in 1911. He's passed away now. He was a Republican president, but here's his view on tariffs, and he would know because he actually lived through the event. So you guys check it out.
You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. Depression. The memory of the suffering it caused is deep and searing. And today, many economic analysts and historians argue that high tariff legislation passed back in that period, called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery.
Hey, okay. If you are still with me now, kudos to you because you have a thirst for knowledge and you understand that knowledge is power, especially in this tough economy. Okay, right here we're looking at a daily chart on PaxG, and while this trades on Ethereum, this is really just a synthetic version. What I mean by that is it just trades along with gold. Okay, gold's got thousands of years of history as being a store of value. Okay, and I'm very big on Bitcoin. I'm a crypto enthusiast, but let's just look at what traditional finance and what these guys are up to. Way back here, we're looking around December of last year, and what's been happening to gold? What are these guys running to safety? Because if they are, then that means the price is going to go up. As they buy, the price will go up and up and up. Now this is December of last year, and you can see on this daily chart, we've just been moving up and up and up. Everyone knew that Donald Trump he'd already won the race. Okay, now while everybody's rah-rahing to you about Bitcoin, at the same time, gold was moving up. Okay, when we're in a risk off, this is risk on because the price has just been steadily moving up. When we're in a risk off, then these guys will come and they'll move their money and rotate it into something else. Maybe it'll be crypto, maybe it'll be back into equities. But right here, you can see gold reaching an all-time high over $3,000. Okay, so are we going to have a recession in 2025? I don't know. No one knows. But one thing I do know, and I've just shown you right here, is that these guys, the so-called smart money, they've been quietly moving their money and moving their positions into gold, and yes, they have also been moving their positions into cash because that's what this huge dip here is. That dip is when even gold was selling off right along with equities, right along with Bitcoin. So that's all I got to share with you guys for today. I hope you guys got a lot of useful information from it. I hope you get a chance to check out what real experts believe on these matters and what's really real, what's going on in the markets right now. Once again, this is Alfred for Amassers.com. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.